Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. This video will be a little bit about the AZU, but more about the new wheels for the AZU and the wheel balancer from the 60s. This is my amazing bispart. With this I can balance tires. It takes quite a while. You can do the static balancing and you can do the dynamic balancing, and I have made quite a few videos on that. Today I'm gonna use it to try and balance the wheels on the AZU because they just arrived from the shop. Brand new ones, new tires, but it's not balanced and I don't think it will matter. More on that later. But the thing is that most balancing shops, at least in my country, cannot balance 2CV tires because there is not a hole in here. They use the hole to censor the unit, and therefore it's not possible to do with this. But I can do that with this, hopefully. Why shouldn't it really matter much about the balancing? That is, these tires are very thin. They are new, so I expect them to be sort of within spec and not too out of balance from the get-go. So that's one thing. Another thing is that the AZU will probably not go much faster than 70 kilometers per hour. So I don't think any wobbles will show at that speed. And if there is any wobbles, I'm not sure it will be felt because there's a lot of other vibrations and wobbles in the car like that. Anyway, I think it could be fun to try to balance them anyway. This, as mentioned, can both do the static balancing and the dynamic balancing. You start by doing the static and then do the dynamic. I'm gonna fit the adapter plate to this so I can put it on the machine and then try it out. So as mentioned, it's a challenge to balance these wheels on normal machines because of the lack of a hole. It's also a challenge on a lot of machines because only 3 lock nuts are used. But one of my plates actually is actually meant for that. So this one got holes spaced out for a 3-bolt pattern. I'm just going to fit that. These bolts are conically shaped and fits into the hole of this. So now it's attached to the plate, and next up I can fit it to the machine. And this will be the first point of where I cannot use this machine as intended, because I'm supposed to put it on and slide it all the way so that this arrow hits the rim. That's not possible because it will bottom out before reaching that. So I'm just going to put it in as far in as I can. And then we're just going to have to adjust the weights accordingly by feel. I'm going to lock it. And then I can do the static balancing, but I'm just going to run the machine to see how out of balance this tire is from the get-go. That's not necessary to do. I could just do the entire balancing now. But just for demonstration purpose, I think it could be fun to put on a new paper on the machine and spin it up. And then put on the pencil and let it spin all the way to a stop. And then we'll see if it's out of balance to begin with. So here comes an imbalance. It's picking up. So this is it, it's stopped, so I can stop the tire also. And as you can see, there is an imbalance. If I wanted to know where to put the balance weight, if I was doing the dynamic balancing, I would have to spin it the other way. Then it will create a cardioid, I think it's called, picture, which I could measure the size of and see where it points and then put the weights. But I'm not going to do that right now, at least. I'm just going to try to do the static balancing. And with the static balancing done, I presume this dot will become very small and probably not worth doing anything about with the thinness of the tire. So I'm just going to try to do the static balancing right now. And the way that I'm going to do that is just to let the tire settle. That way I know where the heaviest point of the tire is, because that will be pointing down. There we go. This is the lightest point of the wheel now. So I'm going to put a weight on right there and see if it changes anything. And to test, I'm just going to spin the tire a quarter of a turn, stop it, and see if it returns. And it is returning. So I'm going to attempt with a weight that is a bit bigger. Oh, these are magnetic, just for the testing purpose. And then turn it a quarter of a turn. I'm going to try some different positions. And as you can see, it is just standing still no matter where I put it now. Which means that that should be pretty much or very close to being in balance. This weight is 30 grams. So I'm gonna cut off 30 grams of weight using these. These are meant for alloy rims, but I don't want to scratch up this new nice rim because that will just introduce rust in no time. So I'm gonna cut 30 grams off from this. It's like this. And then I'm just going to glue that into position. I don't think it's necessary to mention, but I'm not a professional wheel balancer. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. But like this, and then spin the tire a quarter of a turn. It's not all perfect. I'm not completely satisfied with this result, so I'm just going to put another weight on the side that seems lighter, like there. That seems more like it. I could also just start to stash them, but I don't know how much room is in here. But I'm happy with this result, and I can now do the test again by spinning it up. And then I expect that dot to become very, very tiny. And probably so tiny that it's not necessary to do anything about. But let's just try. I'm going to spin it up. There was a bit of an imbalance, but not much. But as you can see, it's very tiny. But I'm just gonna spin it the other way also. And just let that come to a complete standstill also. And it is coming to a standstill now. Gonna take the pencil away. Now I've made this drawing. It's a bit of a heart shape, and the point right there is the direction to put the weights. But firstly, I will measure how big it is in total, and I'd say that is around 9 millimeters. And then I have this scheme to figure out how much weight to put on. Firstly, I need to find the tire. This is a 15-inch, 125, 15. That means I need to use number 7 on this one. This is number 7. And then millimeters is up here, 0.9 is right there. As you can see out here at around 1.9 millimeters, it would require a 20 gram weight. So I'd say in here I would put around 5 to 10 grams. Up here you can see the picture that points towards where to put the weights. Richtung is the direction. It is very difficult to see the direction on this picture, but I'd say it's this way. So it's pretty much straight up from there. These weights are supposed to be set on the outside of the rim. I'm gonna put in 10 grams of weight in here. And with 10 grams on the outside of the rim, I can redo the test, and I expect this one to be pretty much just a dot. But let's see. New piece of paper. Spin it up one direction. And let it spin all the way to a standstill. So while it's slowly coming to a standstill, so far I haven't seen any kind of vibrations. We went from this one, the big one, before doing the static balancing, to this one, which is pretty small, and now to this after also doing the dynamic balancing, which I didn't really think was necessary, and I don't think it will be feelable if I remove the weights on the outside, by the way, unless you maybe go to 110 kilometers per hour or something like that, which is not possible in the AZU. So this is a great success, and this wheel is now fully balanced and ready to go onto the car. There we go, this is the result. It's still a bit of a shape, but the pencil is not completely perfectly centered either, because you have to do that manually and it's a bit difficult. See the final result. The measurement is, I'd say 2 millimeters instead of 9 millimeters as before. So this is job done on this rim. And as mentioned, balancing these were just for fun pretty much, because I don't think it will be feelable at all on this car, because it's an old rattly thing with a 12 horsepower. It's not going to go very fast. On a normal 2CV though, this is definitely necessary, because you can definitely go fast enough for a wobble to be there, and very unpleasant in a 2CV. I did drive a 2CV daily a couple of years back, and I did do 110, 115 kilometers per hour very often on the motorway. And I can tell you for sure that a wobble at that speed is very feelable. The problem was it wasn't very easy to get the wheels balanced, because not a lot of shops can do this. I can do this now because my machine got a adapter plate for these kinds of rims. I actually didn't know it had that. I thought it was only for 4-hole pattern, but nope. It can do 2CVs, it can do Renaults and other tires with 3 bolts, with 3 studs or bolts patterns. So that's really nice. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can head to my merchandise shop and buy a Seaside Garage t-shirt. There will be an AZU t-shirt soon. And yeah, see you in the next one.